Welcome back to Singapore Stories. We're in our third year of this national fashion design competition. Of course, everyone has their eye on the big prizes, but this competition means so much more than that. It's about looking at our material heritage, our design culture, and trying to find the Singapore identity through fabulous clothing. This is Singapore Stories 2022.
Fashion is an expression of personality as well as identity. We started Singapore Stories is to help and to nurture designers to develop an identity for Singapore.
We need new designers on the scene. We need to be able to build new luxury labels that are coming out of Asia.
I look for innovation in tradition, something that is at the same time rooted in our Asian heritage.
What I'm looking for in a designer is definitely someone who can propose something new or that can bring something to the fashion debate here in Singapore.
My name is Alvina. I'm the founder of a social enterprise called Grateful Dress. Usually, I would describe myself as designer by fabric, which means I will go around looking at fabric and then get inspiration from the fabric.
I would like to bring to us my collection entitled In a Week. This particular cheongsam is unique because the colors chosen are specifically more Peranakan. It's brighter, livelier. I also wanted to bring across the message that despite the pandemic, there is hope, and hope is communicated through the colors.
First of all, just congratulate you because I really like the thinking that you put through the entire collection. I like the fact that you look at, to a certain degree, of getting into timelessness, that we're not sort of caught up with fashion to a certain sense. And of course, I like very much that you're sort of playing, so there's a sense of play in drawing from various different cultures and trying to be. In fact, I find the whole collection very whimsical, which is in some ways every day there's a touch of whimsy.
In terms of, like they said, the design thinking, like for example, you said like if you told me the previous look, when you pin on that bottom part, it was a day look, I would say it's more of a night look. In terms of your fabric choice, I think you're also playing it a very bit safe. In terms of your frilly fabrics and your tweed, maybe you can consider something like taking inspiration from Peranakans or like that Korean artist that you mentioned. Sew in elements of your own design experience, your own your background into your designs as well.
Hi, I'm Claudia. Most of my designs begin just from an honest conversation. We talk about life, talk about what matters to us, and we innovate solutions that enable us to live those experiences. So it starts with a cup of kopi. We create clothes that help people thrive. We help open up possibilities through clothing and through functional fashions in a very dignified manner. So we started looking at examples where you would find design without dignity. And if we look even further back into the past, what happens if you're a mother? What happens if you want to have a child and you're being told you have to wear a corset? Sometimes we would have to hack clothes and change them so that we could live the life that we want. That's what we do differently, really. We come in and we want to approach things with a dignified manner.
I think it's fantastic. I think you are producing an amazing line. I wonder, have you tried other type of hooks, or how can you make the hooks look because sometimes it's just about the details. Design-wise, it's already solved. I think the fastening could be something that could give you that small detail of a twist.
As a designer, I'm very naturally drawn to bright colours, and that is because I love to design clothes that spark joy, and I love to see it when people look at my clothes and they feel happy and excited. Most of the outfit is actually made of neoprene fabric. I chose it because I wanted comfort, it's because it's stretchable, and also prints show up really bright on neoprene, on knitted fabrics. And actually for this outfit, you can remove the skirt, which I can do now. It actually becomes a more casual look. So I wanted to increase the longevity of the outfit, so more than just a showpiece or a keepsake piece, you can actually wear it for a long time.
From your lineup, I don't think the collection is very coherent at the moment. don't use neoprene. I know you want to make it younger, but you guys should take neoprene out of your vocabulary.
I obviously love anything with flowers in it. And I have to say that my own aesthetic is more is more. I love how you sort of taken the floral theme and ran with different variations on it. If the floral motif from the partner is your theme, then just make sure that that is quite consistent in the looks that you have. I do agree also with Cersei in that this is like wildly varying, and you might need to sort of decide on a general sort of like language for this particular collection.
I'm Jamela Law. I'm the founder of Belf Design. I like to call myself a fashion artist. I think that fashion is the design of change. So for every collection, we try to push the boundaries by trying out new technologies and techniques. We try to do things that nobody in Singapore has ever done before. I wanted to explore how we can use the fascinating line work of the sea route used by merchants and immigrants in the past. This dress is 3D printed on mesh fabric, and the designs are generated using a software. And since it was constructed digitally first, it is also metaverse ready. I could potentially make it into an NFT and use it for virtual reality applications in the future.
I love the concept behind this. I can see, even though you didn't have the shoe, how it's just going to look so beautiful with just a touch of gold here and there. I think these accessories are just so clever.
It's so well thought out with your designs that, well, it looks great on a dress form, but you know, on a real person, you need to see how it looks as well.
Heritage Reinterpreted is the theme of my collection. It's a tribute to the roots. I look to our wisdom from the past to make a promise to the future. I'm inspired by the 1,000 lights that light up our city skyline, while we endeavor to preserve our traditions. The collection incorporates various indigenous craftsmanship from South Asian regions, one of it being Parsi embroidery, and textiles such as woven silks, brocades, which have over 400 years of Asian history. And I think it's really, really important, and I seek to remember our culture while inspiring contemporary perspective to these Asian craftsmanship practices.
Embroidery work is wonderful. I think you know, it's almost demi couture. You can look at designers like Miss Sohee, who she's employing Korean techniques in her work, but she makes it in a very modern way for a very young audience.
Do you want drape to be your statement, your distinction? Or if it is embroidery, is it because of your motifs? I think that there has to be some form of distinction that when we look at that piece, we know it's yours.
Hi, my name is Rui Xian. I'm the founder of Studio HHFZ. So my design methodology is more of like conversations with people. So this is the mood that I'm going for, very happy, party, and yeah, something they can like dance in. And the colours that we are going for is more like pastel tones, as you can see here. So like mint green, blue, yellow, cream, and coral colour. This is a fusion of the Chinese and Indian style. So we use the sari fabric for the top portion. And also this skirt, right, it's a cartridge pleat. And we did it with the Chinese silk satin fabric, so a bit more oriental. And this can actually be taken out. So this is like the after party look.
You already have like a business that is happening, and I think this competition gives you the opportunity to experiment more, as you were saying. Is it possible, for example, or would you imagine it being all like a lace fabric and making it into a lace, so with the whole piece becomes this, because immediately, immediately it becomes...
It transforms into a different...
It transforms into a more contemporary piece, while you keep the silhouette
and the like traditional elements.
The traditional elements, but then you laser cut this.
I mean, I can feel that you're going wild, having a lot of fun with the various different kinds of fabrics and layers. But I think you have to make a choice between one or the other, such that then, because your silhouettes are fine, it's just then, how that will come together.
This collection is designed by me and Tina together, and we have named it as the Lost Aesthetics. These
6 looks. We wanted our women to wear these pieces over and over again for multiple events or multiple special occasions. Now about this dress, this is inspired by 2 cultures, Indian and Chinese. The Indian pleats, you can see it as the drape over here, and the bodice and the sleeves and the motif that you see is inspired by the Chinese culture.
I think my own sense as to why this works for me is because it is a very good example of ikat being contemporized, a very, very traditional textile. I do feel, however, that you need to choose one kind of direction.
My name is Nuridia Wahab and I'm from Wit Crafts and I'm actually really excited to be here. Singapore is such a beautiful country with so many different ethnicities, cultures, and how do you sort of like blend everyone together to be able to tell that story? I present to you this collection. This dress is actually the ACM inspired piece. So we have all the details and intricacies, and they were buried in the water for how many years? Centuries, and they were recently discovered. This is the Merdeka ribbon. And this is to simulate the waves of the sea. But my favorite part is the back. We have a Singapore here, lined with Merdeka everywhere.
You're talking with this passion of like, we are Merdeka. But here, I think that you're keeping it very safe, actually, instead of just, with a theme like this, it would be that the minute, this piece comes up, it's like a punch in the face. And it's like, wow, this is like very, very sort of, excuse my language, but very badass.
I agree with Kenny that you could have taken it much more boldly, like for example, just using Merdeka. Right now, my quip is that there are just too many things on one piece. Really a bit too many elements for what I've seen.
Hi everyone, it's been a really long day. Congratulations for making it this far in Singapore Stories 2022. Unfortunately, there can only be 5 finalists moving on to the grand prize of being Singapore's next big designer. And the 5 finalists are... Stay tuned to see who will emerge victorious in this fierce and fabulous race to the runway.